Welcome to Home Ed Looks Like This. I'm Liz and I'm a mum of 4. Today's vlog's going to be on socialisation. And I know there's been loads out there on this topic before, but it doesn't seem right not to cover it. So, socialisation. I actually think it's a rite of passage that we all cover this one. So, I probably should have done this years ago. But I've decided to jump on the bandwagon and get my message on socialisation out there. If I was paid £1 every time someone mentioned socialisation, when they find out I'm a home educator, I'd be a trillionaire by now. Yet the socialisation concern actually has no basis in reality. There's a huge belief that children need to be in school to be socialised. Yet if I had to pinpoint an aim of socialisation, the main one would be interpersonal communication skills. Research is actually showing now that children who are home educated are not deprived socially at all. Studies have actually shown that home educated children tend to have enhanced social development. They're more socially adept and have a stronger sense of self and self-image than their school attending peers. I advise that you're all looking to research by Thomas Medley, because his paper was actually quite interesting to read. So yeah, I'd definitely give that a quick Google and have a little look into him and his research papers and what his studies came out with. There's also studies out there that state that school attending children don't actually develop interpersonal communication skills until university or later. And interpersonal communication skills are the skill set gained through experience and is the ability to communicate effectively with people of all ages, all walks of life, backgrounds, and all cultures. Socialisation skills were actually one of the determining factors in my choice to home educate. To most parents, socialisation in children is seen as the ability to just get along, navigate them trials of playground antics, mix with friends of the same age, learn from one another, and learn how to socially conform from one another. And by that, I just mean respecting authority figures, such as the school teachers, and conforming to the rules of society, such as the school rules when you're in that premise. And one saying that actually comes to mind is one my nan used to come out with. He who walks with the wise grows wise, but a companion of fools suffers harm. In my eyes, socialisation is about developing good character traits, confidence of being, socially aware, confident in a variety of situations, and able to communicate effectively with those around you, regardless of age, regardless of culture, regardless of background, lifestyle. So, how do we learn to be mature and grow if we are spending the majority of our time with one set age group? 2, if they share breaks with another peer group. Our children constantly learn from their environment and day-to-day interactions. And all them interactions gradually build up like layers of an onion. And them layers then help to form and shape our children's personalities, their likes and dislikes, and even their morals and ethics, as well as helping to form the foundations of their emotional regulation for later in life and their coping mechanisms. So with that taken into consideration, is it not therefore important that in our children's most impressionable years, that they gain these experiences through interactions with people across all walks of life, all age groups, varying cultures, than it is to only get your breaks to socialise with one small demographic group from society, your own peer group? And that is for the majority of their educational experience, their educational journey. And now I'm not trying to sell home education to anyone or convince you to pull your children out of school, because for some families, school is the perfect place for their children to be, because just as school doesn't suit every family, home education doesn't suit every family. However, it has to be said, the home education community has no issues in meeting the social needs of their children. Home educated children still form strong childhood bonds and friendships. They still have play dates, they still have birthday parties, they still attend youth clubs, sports groups, and group educational experiences just like children, just like school children. I also have to ask, how many of you were actually told by teachers yourselves when you went to school that you were there to learn and not to socialise? So why do so many of us in society still seem to think the school is the ideal conducive environment for socialisation? Since the dawn of time, The child's primary role models were in the home, and they were the parents, the grandparents, the siblings, wider family members. And in the past, we very much had that village mentality, so they could easily seek out any mentors required, and it's no different in the home ed community. And our children also build up a good working relationship with the other parent. They're able to ask questions whenever they want, and they mix in groups of varying ages. Most groups will have children from 0 to 18 in, or they'll go from 5 to 12 and say 10 to 16 and so on. In school, the primary model for them to learn this behaviour from, these crucial life skills, are primarily other children who haven't yet reached maturity themselves and haven't yet gained these skills themselves. Those negative character traits that we always get concerned will be imparted on our children are often missed by overworked, overtired, underpaid teaching staff. And let's not forget that for many children, that excessive stimulation can have a negative impact on their health and well-being. Whereas at home, for those children, it can be a much more measured approach. And school is not as representative of real life as people seem to think it is. Bathroom schedules, can only eat at permitted times, access to the outdoors at permitted breaks, and that's if you're not under tension or in isolation. And many times the children in isolation are actually there to hide from the bullies. It's the victims of bullying that end up in isolation. And on occasions, then victims in isolation also miss out on lesson time. And that has a long-term impact then on being able to follow and comprehend future lessons. I've mentioned breaks with your own peer group, and maybe if you're lucky, the year above or below. But I have to ask you how that represents real life situations, real life socialisation. And when you compare it to home ed, I have to ask you how that compares to the socialisation we see within the home education community, where they do gain genuine interpersonal communication skills. And there are many ways and settings in which home educated children socialise in, such as interacting with your local home ed community group, attending the events and meetups that they host. And local home ed groups are easily found and easily accessible, and they will regularly arrange group trips, visits and excursions to various places at discounted rates. Museums and science centres and libraries will host free home educator days with workshops and events as well. You have zoos that will host zookeeper days, tourist attractions. We have National Trust and English Heritage memberships, and we've done everything from zookeeper days to Warner Brother trips and Harry Potter world experiences, all as part of the home education community. And in addition to them regular one-off trips, most local areas have a busy schedule of weekly run events, workshops, groups, meetings. The you and your children can attend for educational experiences with others. In addition to that, we have all the extracurricular groups that are available to school children as well, such as scouting, guiding, cadets, dancing, gymnastics, drama, fishing, there's football, and even places like Young Farmers too. And in the home educator community, we also have a lot of places that offer online groups, workshops and classes as well, such as OutSchool, the £2 tuition hub, and even Twinkle do live classes as well. And in them Zooms, the children can actually communicate with each other and socialise there as well. And many families within the home ed community also have their own interests as a family, such as us with our living history. Many teenagers will get together to do the Duke of Edinburgh together or their art awards together. They'll arrange their own book clubs. And they do meet up socially outside of the pre-arranged home ed meetups with the parents. So as you can see, home education offers many rich and varied opportunities for socialisation. And as a community, we're quite capable and confident at meeting those social needs of our children too. But if anyone has any further questions, please feel free to send me a message in the comments and I will get back to you. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Or if you're on TikTok, the follow button.